Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show. Radio to open the heart, heal the soul, and awaken the consciousness. My goodness, what a week. We have been having the Lionsgate portal go on, and I know.
Wait, did you say lion?
The Lionsgate portal. Yeah, whoa, Betty.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Woo, I love that so much. Yeah. And we'll talk a lot about astrology when my guest gets on the show with me today. But just to begin with, Benny, how are you doing? You might be busy doing things behind the scenes.
I am, but it's also the start of the Seahawks preseason game today, so I'm excited for their season. The 2023 season is going to launch after today, of course, but I'm really excited. Obviously, I'm wearing my gear and doing fantastic times here in Seattle. That's pretty much it, right? I know we're all excited, and we got the lion all ready to go, roaring, getting there, growling. Gotta do it, and I'll throw in as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I love it.
It's like Loretta's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah, it is. It's the Wild Kingdom for sure. I just love that.
All good.
Yeah. Anyway, so as
I'm
we're
back
bringing
in.
Oh, hey, our guest is fine.
Great.
Good.
Hi there. Come on in. Well, we are live on the air. Just hang on.
Whoop.
And yep.
I
We'll
go
take
like
just
this?
a moment. Yes, that's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
I'll just hold.
Okay. That sounds great. So everybody listening, welcome to the original Loretta Brown Show. And I have a great guest coming on in just a minute. I want to remind everybody that I'm the owner of Reiki Oasis, located right here in the greater Seattle area. Lots of good things coming up. And I do have, I am taking a group of sacred travelers to Egypt in November. And I think I have 2 spots left. If you're interested in going to Egypt, send me an email at reikioasis@gmail.com. It is a small group of select travelers. We do it top shelf. It's top notch. Everything's fantastic. And I kind of take you through initiations. We have a great time. So I hope you'll be able to come. So my guest today, and I'm just giving her a moment to write herself, is the amazing Susan Miller. And Susan, it is so great to have you on my show. I'm going to give you a proper introduction. But, I always pay attention to these things. We are wearing pink today. Look at us. That is hysterical, right? Because we did not call each other ahead of time and said, what are you wearing? And I think the stars, Susan, the stars have got us figured out.
To each other.
We are so plugged in. So I am going to, even before I announce my guest, I'm going to let people know that I'm going to open the lines, which we don't always do. You can call into the show because Susan Miller is the most amazing, internationally recognized. Like, I have so much respect for you, Susan. She's an astrologer, a columnist, an entrepreneur, a publisher, a pioneer. She's very positive, very positive. She's very successful. And if you have an astrological question, an astrology question, call the radio station right now, 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527, and get on the air with Susan and ask her some questions. And while you are dialing those numbers, I'll say them again. 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. So let me give her a better introduction. Susan is recognized around the world for her work outside the box into areas of business, finance, technology, lifestyle, culture, economy. She has a Twitter following of I don't know, more than 500,000 people. Her award-winning website, astrologyzone.com, receives more than 13, maybe even 14 million unique views yearly. And her site is considered an authority in the field of Western astrology. Her monthly forecasts are published on her website and app, daily horoscope, Astrology Zone, and more. There, she's celebrated worldwide. Readers and listeners love Susan's warmth and compassion, as well as her accuracy and comprehensive reporting of current planetary trends. She's the author of, goodness, I don't know, 12 astrology books, Susan?
I've lost count. I think it's
85.
I just keep writing. I can't stop. I'm compelled. I don't know what's wrong with
Yeah,
me.
there's nothing wrong with you just got to keep on writing. And Loretta, can we just do this 1 second? So I know our guest is kind of organizing things on her side. Shall we give her a quick second to prop up her phone and her camera real fast? So she's
all right.
Yeah, go ahead and do that for us so we can get
go
all
ahead
settled
and do
in.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
and
obviously
I'll just let
I'm not moving all the time.
you're a busy gal. I mean, that only makes sense.
There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's flipped on. Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with her. She's busy. They have those cameras that follow you, like, if you're standing, it'll go this way or go that way.
I have just my iPhone on a clip on a ring light, but it's a new clip and it's very tight.
Well,
anyway,
bless you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Well, we can see you and we can hear you, and I'm thrilled to have you on the show. I just think you are
thank you. I'm thrilled because we've talked before.
Yes, we have.
I remember you. Yes.
Oh,
you
wow.
stand out in my mind.
Susan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very much so.
Yeah. So while we are opening the lines to callers, and I'm going to be ridiculous by handing the number out again, because I do want people to take the opportunity.
It's good. People have to grab a pen. Yeah.
Yeah. And especially if they're driving in morning traffic here in Seattle, they might be going, what'd she say? What'd she say?
So they have to pull over. We don't want them typing.
No, we don't want any of that texting and driving business going on. Especially because Seattle is known for road rage. So be careful out there, people.
Oh, really?
Right? They're all headed to get coffee. They got to have their coffee. That's how that works here. But, or their tea. They're shy. Depends on which way people go. So 1-888-298. 5569 or 425-373-5527. Susan, from my heart to yours. Yeah. So
we both just busy.
I don't even know where to start. I would love you to take just a couple of minutes and give a little bit of background about yourself. You have a remarkable story. And how you became an astrologer.
I started my website in 1995. Now people are starting to say, I wasn't born yet. But that's almost 28 years. It was started in December 14th, on Time Warner's website. And then they got involved with AOL after 3 years. And I had nowhere to go. Every door was being closed in my face. But I was thanking Apple for a story they wrote about me, the astrologer who believes in Apple. And I was writing to them for different reasons, just to say, I think Steve Jobs is great and he's not being portrayed in the press very well. And I could change that. I know I'm just little, but I have some ideas. And they liked me. They wrote the story. They agreed with my theories, and they gave me the name of the company that was to license me next. It was InfoSeek, which became the Walt Disney Company within 4 weeks of that meeting. So I spent 3 more years with a big media company. And some people think I got venture capital from them. No, I always owned my company 100%. And I just licensed my material. What led me to astrology? Well, I was never supposed to tell anybody I knew it. That was the idea. My mom was a scholar when she was alive. She had studied 8 years in a correspondence class with her sister, through the mails. And she didn't want to study with her sister, but she loved her sister. And her sister said, Erica, you're very good with math. There were no computers then. You had to do all the calculations by hand. My mother was very accurate. this is the German side of my family, my grandpa and grandma.
Yeah.
My grandfather was an engineer. My grandmother was so good with grafting, gardening things that Cornell University used her plans that she would write them out. But anyway, my mother got very good at it. The reason I went into astrology is simply to know if I'd ever walk again. I was born with a very bad birth defect in my left leg. Nobody knew what it was. They didn't really have the equipment they have today. And so, in the old days, if they couldn't figure it out, there must be something wrong with you. You have nothing wrong with you. You just want to stay home, which was not true. I was in excruciating pain when I would get an attack. And I would get one usually once, possibly twice a year, but usually only once a year. But it would last 6 to 8 weeks. And I'd have to lay in the bed perfectly still. It was my left leg, and it would swell, and it would be extremely painful, and I couldn't move even an inch. And they later went in when I was 14, and I spent 11 months in the hospital. It was internal bleeding, and I'm all malformed on the left side. And they had to paralyze me in order to save my life. I was bleeding out. In my life, I've had 40 blood transfusions, so it took a village, but it worked, So, and I had to learn how to walk again. So all those high school years, I was in the hospital or as an outpatient doing homeschool, because I had to go to the hospital as an outpatient every day for 2.5 hours. Or maybe longer even. I had to learn how to bend the knee. I had to drop foot. It was a lot. And I wanted to know if all this physical therapy was going to come to a happy conclusion. And my mother said, but I can read your chart. You don't need to learn astrology. No, I want to read my chart. She said, you're never going to stop asking. I was like relentless, So finally she did say, I will teach you, but you must study 12 years or you won't be any good. And you mustn't tell anybody you're studying it until I tell you you're ready. And you're going to start reading for your friends. I said, Mommy, I don't have any friends. Do you see anybody here? Everyone's sick of me being sick. No, I don't have anybody who's coming over. She said, well, that's true. She said, I want to be in the room when you're reading a chart. And my grandmother lived upstairs with my 3 aunts. In those days, our brownstone had huge apartments. They didn't cut them in half like they do now.
Yeah.
So I'd go up and visit my grandmother and my aunts. And somebody would always say, oh, yeah, you could do me. And they had brothers who lived outside the building, but they would come for dinners, Italian. My other half is Italian. So it was just great. Grandma was such a wonderful cook. And, I was always upstairs, downstairs, and that's how I got good reading my aunts and uncles' charts. And one of my aunts is still alive. She's 105. Oh, wow. She had a little Cancer, born in June 24th, 1918. She was born the year of the Spanish flu. She did get a little bit of COVID, but it was after she had gotten the Pfizer vaccine. So she was sick for about a week at home, but she got well. So we just little Aunt Faye, we love you, And she was the weakest one of the family. She was the one that was always sick. So everybody thought she was the one that would never really have a long life. And she fooled everybody. Her brother died at 101, my uncle, who served in the Battle of the Bulge in Normandy. And her sister was 103 when she died of breast cancer. And then she had another sister, my Aunt Rose, who didn't take great care of herself, but she died at 99.
Susan, my family has longevity too. My aunt just passed away this year at 105.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that interesting? I got goosebumps. I don't know why. But
what month was she born in?
I think it was February. I'm trying to remember exactly when. I think she was a Pisces.
Little
Yeah,
Pisces.
and she died right around that time. So
Oh,
this year, but
well,
yeah,
God bless her. Our
yeah,
bodies are not made to last forever, and
no.
I
She
think
was,
there's something else after
yeah,
we
she was a lovely, lovely woman that always had lace doilies, and you had to drink tea, and she did it right.
Oh,
She did her
I
hair
love
and her
that.
nails,
Oh,
got dressed up. She always had flowers in her place.
well,
Like
a lot
that.
of people don't know what to say to an older person. But
Mhm.
I asked her, what toys did you play with? What did you do when you were little? And she said, well, there were
Yeah.
7 of us, so we all had to help mother. But I also asked her recipes, and still is sharp as a tack. She always says, put in the garlic at the very end, only 30 seconds. You don't want to burn it. We're talking about lasagna and making the greatest spaghetti sauce. I always make homemade, and I always freeze it, so I have plenty in the house. If somebody comes over, if I don't have other food, at least I have that. I usually keep food in the refrigerator, though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I love to cook, so I ask her recipes. But really, if you have an aunt or uncle or mother or father who are advanced in age, this is a great time to ask them questions about when they were little.
Yeah.
Because you'll find out so much, and you probably never thought to ask.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I love your story. We will talk more. We actually have some people calling in. I want to give the number out again. I want to remind people, Susan Miller is actually the most amazing astrologer in the known universe and beyond. And you can call in today and ask her a question about your chart or astrology, or because we have so much astrology going on, which we'll see if how much time we have.
Well, you know what? I have a new feature on my site that's free that I think your listeners would love. My website is astrologyzone.com, just astrology and zone all slurred together. And on the home page, it says, do your natal chart. And it's free. Just click that icon and you'll be taken to the field where you type in, if you know your time of birth, that's much better, and you can always go back. I'm not going to take it away. And, this is my gift to my readers. And I'm writing the interpretations, and the engineers forgot to put up the sun sign, the rising sign, and the midheaven. I've written them. I have to write Astrology Zone first, and then I'll put it up. I just want to read it one more time. I gave it to them last year, but you always want to look at it one more time. And you can print out your interpretation. So I want people to have fun with astrology and learn actually what it can do for you, because it really is a serious science where you can really generate ideas, especially when you have a dilemma. I'm not making enough money, or why can't I meet someone to love, or I need to find a new house, whatever it is. So when people call in, they should give me their first name, where they live, like they might not live in Seattle. I just love to know where they might live. Yeah. And then their sign, like they say maybe June 5th. They don't have to give the year. And that's Gemini. If they know they're rising, tell it to me. Don't tell me the moon. I don't need the moon. That's your emotional state. You already know what that is. And then ask your question, a very specific question that would be interesting to many people.
Wonderful.
And then we're all set.
Yeah, and we're all set. So we're going to take a caller in a minute. I'll give the number out again. 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. Dial the number right now. If your palms are sweaty, that's you. Dial it right now and get on the show. Benny, I think we have somebody waiting.
Yeah, we do. We'll take Jessica calling in from Renton. Hi, Jessica.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Jessica.
Thanks for taking my call. My name is Jessica, and I can't remember the order of what you wanted to know.
Just tell me your birthday. You don't have to give me the year, just the month and the day.
Okay, so it's December 29th. My rising
a little
sign
Capricorn, December 29th. Wow. Okay, and do you know your rising sign?
It's Aries.
Oh, great. Okay, Capricorn with Aries rising. That is a person who's a mover and shaker. Who it's an empire builder. That is the signature of those two together, because Capricorn is very practical and very good with money, and an excellent boss who takes very good care of the people in her employ. Is caring and loving and doesn't fire people for no reason. I mean, everybody wants to work for a Capricorn, and they have a good sense of history. You know, Princess Kate in England is a Capricorn. So, and the Aries likes to start businesses. Tell me, what's your question?
Well, this is interesting that you say this, that I'm a builder of empires and whatnot, because I feel like I'm stuck. I don't have those qualities. For some reason, are not here right now. But
well, they're inside you. We just have to dig them out. Well, look, you're in a wonderful phase with the Aries rising. Last year, you did some things that made you happy. I have a daughter who's Aries, so I know. Well, she had a baby last year, but she also works and got a big promotion. So you're in a year where you can command money now. Now, your fabulous money vibes last from now all the way until May 25th of 2024. Look how many months you have to realize that. Now, the Capricorn part of you, because we all have two charts, and my job is to put them together. Capricorn was frustrated with the money they were making. They felt they were working hard, and they actually did deserve more. When you have Saturn in the second house, which you had for 3 years, it just probably seemed endless. And you probably finally thought, well, this is the way it is. Sometimes we blame it on the economy, but no, it wasn't the economy. It was Saturn. But Saturn left in March, and he's not coming back for 29 years. This is like, you should have champagne tonight. Everything in your chart is saying you could make money. There are people who need you. You could be an office manager. You could, as long as someone doesn't over supervise you, if you have some freedom and autonomy, you will be really happy, because you see ideas coming at you and you have to voice them and say, you know, I have fresh eyes. I'm in your company and I see things that could be better. People want to know, and especially small businesses, it's so hard to find someone as energetic as you and as wise with the Capricorn. I could give you my purse and I could say, could you hold it for like 2 hours? I'll be back. You'll never go in it. You'll never take any money out. They're so trustworthy. I love Capricorn. So, but what kind of work did you used to do, or what did you study in college?
I've been working in the public sector most of my life. I do I do construction contracting.
Oh, wow. That's
20
fabulous.
something years.
Because 5 out of 10 planets right now, everybody listen up. Well, there are only 8 planets, including Pluto, but there's also the sun and moon. So I said there were 10 planets, but the sun and moon are not planets. Okay, but out of the 10 heavenly bodies, 5 are in earth signs. That's construction, that's building, that's real estate, that's things you can touch and feel. If you have that expertise, did you help with the estimating or anything like that?
Well, no, just monitoring. Public sector kind of work, you're monitoring the rules and regulations of the public public money. So
Mhm.
it's
Which
actually
is
kind of boring right now.
substantial. You know what? No, you know what? I became certified as a woman-owned business enterprise. And I didn't, until you're in it, you don't know how much they want to see 5 years of tax returns. You have to fill out 17 pages. And by the time you're halfway through it, you might as well finish it. And I was certified. And I didn't realize that once you're certified, you're also up for construction jobs. You could start your own business because once you're certified, they will send you the leads. Now, I am not in construction. I had no idea that this was a side bonus of becoming a woman-owned enterprise, but you could, and you get your EIN number, you get your commercial bank account, and you get the paperwork to be certified as a woman-owned business because the United States wants to encourage women to be self-employed. And I keep getting emails from companies saying we're professional estimators. So you could come to us and we guarantee we will give you the correct estimate for the job. So I'm thinking, wow, there is such opportunity here for people who are interested in construction. I had no idea. It was just all those emails started coming in and I'm like, oh, this doesn't really apply to me, but this is so interesting, But with the Aries rising, you should be self-employed, whatever it is. It could be a business where you're doing proofreading, if you're very good with grammar and the English language. I hire a proofreader, I hire an editor, I hire 5 editors actually, because I'm writing so much. I have my 2 apps. Actually, we changed the name of the app. It's Astrology Zone Horoscopes. It's on Apple and Google Play, and also Moonlight Phases, which is a great app. It explains it. It's all about the moon and the different places the moon is in, and when she's void and when she's awake. When she's void, she's sleeping. We don't want a sleeping moon. We want a wide awake moon. But anyway, I think there are many opportunities for you. You have good experience. The one thing I found as I grew up, we all think our expertise is commonplace. But then, we may have lunch with a few girls and other people are saying, oh, really? Oh, you know how to do that? Your expertise is not commonplace. And I guarantee somebody's looking for you. And now the cap has come off your income. Now the sky's the limit. Finally, after 3 years, you were starting to think, oh, it's never going to change. But it's changing now for the better. So I want you to go out there and slay a dragon. You take whatever you would like to do. And you could start small. I started small. My leg was always breaking. I broke my thigh bone 4 times. And that's a year of recovery. And my husband at the time was never working. So I had to figure out a way to meet the rent. And I asked my mother to go to the newsstand and buy all the magazines she could find. And I wound up working for McCall's magazine. And I had taken a weekend workshop first, how to approach editors. I have a business degree. I was terrified of approaching an editor. I didn't know the proper way. After I took that course, I was writing for 9 magazines every month. Oh my goodness. My teacher said, what? 9? You're my star pupil. That never happens. I said, you taught me well. I listened to everything you said. So sometimes that's all you need is a little boost. And it sets you off in the right direction. I believe in those little weekend workshops. I do. So just think about what you like and what you enjoy doing. And you know what else? I read this. You have to enjoy the tools you use every day. Like if you're a cook, you have to love the wire whisk and the copper bowl and the fry pan and the spices. If you're a writer like me, you have to love the touch of the keyboard And you have to like being alone. Unfortunately, that's part of it, but I don't mind that. I see people and then I'm home, and I'm working. But whatever job you go into, you have to like the tools that you use. So I hope I've given you some clues.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much. You opened it up for me. Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it very much.
Thank you, Jessica. Blessings to you. We have on my show today the amazing Susan Miller, internationally known astrologer, and I don't know. I don't have enough nice things to say about you, Susan. The lines are open if you have a question about astrology, your chart. You will need to call in with your name, the month and day of your birthday. We don't need the year, thank goodness, or your weight. We don't need those
We don't
things.
want our neighbors to know.
And you're rising if you know what it is. And a question, the number is 1-888-298-5569 or 425-373-5527. And Benny, I think we have somebody else waiting.
We do. We have Nancy calling in from the South End area from Tacoma. Hi, Nancy.
Oh,
Hi.
Tacoma. Hi. Hello, Nancy. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Well, I'll
good.
jump right in, if that's okay.
Oh, this is
Yes.
so exciting. I feel like an eagle flying on the Pacific Northwest. Oh, what is your question and your birthday?
Okay, my birthday is November 28th, and
Another a Sagittarian.
Oh, yes. The party
Right.
sign, I think. And my rising sign is Cancer.
Oh, wow. What a difference. You love home, but you love to travel. You have this two sides to you. You make a loving, warm home. You probably are a good cook if you're a Cancer, or just everybody loves what you make. But you're so curious and you want to go out in the world and see things. What is your question?
Well, what's my biggest assets, and how can I channel that to do
Sagittarius is known to be the great storyteller. Imagine being, I never was in camp because I was always in hospitals, but I imagine being in camp around the campfire and having the leader, the scoutmaster, whatever his name is, telling a great story. And none of us want to go to sleep because we have to find out what happens next. Sagittarius has links to publishing and to writing great books and screenplays. Gemini is opposite you on the axis, 180 degrees away. And Gemini takes in lots of details and information. But I learned through my writing and studying that Sagittarius holds the keys of the libraries of the world. And they make sure everything is accurate. When I was writing my first book, Planets and Possibilities, for Warner Books, the publisher came to me and said, I see you handed in your manuscript. How many, sources do you have to back up each fact in the book? I said, I have one, and it's all on file cards and it's accurate. She said, Susan, we require 3. And she was a Sagittarian. She said, someday, 150 years from now, someone may take your book off the shelf in the library. They have to be absolutely sure that they can rely on every fact in that book. So I went back and I knew which facts I needed the backup for. And there were still 142 that I couldn't find a third one. And someone told me USA Today has a service that they'll look things up and it's $2 a fact. Well, that was then. It's probably $10 a fact now, but it was in the year 2000, 20 years ago. But I got the 3 facts, but it never left me how careful Sagittarius is about accuracy. Even if you're writing a novel and you're setting it in a certain period or a certain place, to be accurate about describing it. But are you working now?
I just have sort of a side job. I'm a dog walker right now, but
that's
I
very
recently
sweet.
got a master's in communication and leadership. But I love to write.
Well, sure. With communication, I'm not surprised. You know what? I was telling the other lady that we always think what we can do is commonplace. I've been hiring people, because I have a growing business and I need to. I find kids don't have good writing skills. Gen Zers, and I don't know what it is. I have decided to hire older people. Don't tell anybody, but they have beautifully honed skills. And so what I'm trying to tell you is realize you have a lot to offer here. And there is so many companies, not one company, many that are looking for you and they don't know how to find you. So start with your friends and family. Because no matter how many sites we have on the internet of monster.com and all those, ZipRecruiter and all those, which are very, very good. Indeed, that's a good one. But in the end, people are scared to hire people. They think, what if I make a mistake? I'll have to pay unemployment insurance, or my boss might not like my choices. But if they're recommended, if the person is recommended from someone they know, that lowers the risk tremendously. So start with personal recommendation and talk to all your friends. What do you do?
Channel that.
Do you love it?
Because writing, I think everybody thinks they're a writer. Do you have
even writing reports, it should be nicely done, with correct grammar, and but many of us think, well, I can't do that. That's for people in Hollywood. Now, look out your window. Look at what you know. Write about what you know, because nobody knows it as well as you. You could do it on the side. You could start a little journal, or you could start writing a chapter and just see where it goes. It'll go where it wants to go. And it might surprise you.
That's a great way to put it.
Office work you can do. The cancer makes fabulous nurses and nurses' aides, and they care so much about the patients. They also love to work for hotels and hospitality, or have an Airbnb, or that kind of work. To customer support, so important. How many times have we wanted better customer support? It's the easiest thing to give, the hardest thing to find for some crazy reason. Some companies do a really good job, and others, you just wonder, what is wrong here? Why can't I talk to a human being? It was, for starters, and to untangle a problem. Cancer is very caring, and and people can tell. We all have a third eye. We can tell when somebody really cares about us. So, and restaurants, and or maybe you can, we all know people who have made great cookies and made a business out of it, like Mrs. Fields, so, or great tomato sauce, whatever it is. Take yourself seriously.
Yeah, I do have an opportunity to maybe create like an Airbnb, sort of. So,
I have a friend who lives in a 4-bedroom house. And he said, gee, this is so big. He inherited it from his mom and dad when they died. And he started to take tenants, when they would come to Philadelphia, because he's outside of Philly. And it really got him through the pandemic really well. You know, he's in a nice, safe area. He put a lock on their door, on his door, you know, but he has coffee for them in the morning, and he says it's actually a lot of fun. So you might really like it.
Yeah.
Some people I know even buy property to have an Airbnb. That seems to be a trend as well. I have a friend who has a beautiful structure up in the Catskills, and he says, I just use it for renting out, and I do really well, he said to me. So that's lovely also, you know.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump in because we got other people waiting.
Okay.
Did that help you at all, Nancy?
Yes, it's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll be thinking about you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much for calling in. And Benny, we've got some other people waiting.
We do. We'll take
person?
Yeah, we do. We'll take Kim calling in from Seattle now. Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Great, thanks.
Good. Hi. And what's your
Hi
question
there.
and your birthday? Hi.
Hi, my birthday is December 18th.
Okay. Another Sag.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay. And what's the question?
Oh, the question, I want to know, I was trying to figure out about my love life. I'm looking,
You
kind
met someone last year. Did you meet anybody last year that was kind of interesting, but you weren't sure yet? But
yeah,
it was the first time you had met someone that captured that person. I really think you should give a second look to, because last year you had Jupiter, the giver of gifts and luck, the great benefactor, in your house of true love for the first time in 12 years. Now, Jupiter keeps traveling around the chart, so he won't be back for another 12 years. This year, he's in your house of work projects and health. You can get more healthy and you can get better assignments and more interesting work. But last year, you had that love aspect. And I would like you to give that person a second chance. You know, some people, kind of unfold gently and quietly, which I think is very nice. I anything too fast to me seems a little too fast. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. And how did you meet this person?
we were at a conference together.
Oh, conference. So you have a lot in common. Very good. This is sounding better and better. Now, you're going to have I'm really excited about these possibilities. You're going to have a very active holiday season. Mars is going into Sagittarius, I believe, around the time of Thanksgiving and all the way through December. And you're Sagittarius, and Mars only gets to your sign. It takes him 2 years to go around the sun. So when you get Mars, you sparkle like a diamond. I mean, you will be the sparkler at any party you go to. I would get my wardrobe ready in the fall. The clothes aren't out in the stores yet, but get your pretty cocktail outfit ready. You're going to be invited to things, and you're going to be happy. I'll tell you, the summer has been slow and people feel like they're not getting anywhere. I just want to tell everyone listening, I do not feel there's a recession coming. The media keeps pounding that drum. There is no recession. When Jupiter meets with Pluto, that's a very big moment. It happens every 13 years. It happened in 2020. And I thought, wow, it happened 3 times in 2020. You know, they had retrogrades and they would keep meeting. I thought, oh, wow, 2020 is going to be great for money. Money's going to flow and it's just going to be everywhere. Money coming in, big money deals. Well, it wasn't the way I expected. I didn't even know that stimulus packages existed in this world. And they were in the trillions. So that was big. Now Jupiter and Pluto are square in the beginning of that cycle. See, we look at the first meeting and then we watch in the cycle, the 13-year cycle, what's happening. And on May 17th, they were fighting with each other. That means that we had to tweak something. Well, guess what? Kevin McCarthy on May 17th, that's when the square happened, was meeting with President Biden to tweak the budget. And that's exactly what we were supposed to do. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican. This has to do with the stars. We were supposed to tweak it a little and fix a few things. And we did. And in June of next year, June 2nd, they're so friendly that, again, the cornucopia comes. So nobody should worry about a recession. It's not going to come. Things are strong here.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm going to jump in because I do want to get one more caller on before we have to close
sure,
out.
of course.
Yep. Did that help you at all, what she told you? I'm excited. I want you to write me and let me know about your love life.
Yeah, we all want to know.
All right,
I'm
I
on
will.
Discord. I know Discord is new to people and it's a little different. If you have a teenager who knows Discord, they're the best ones because it was set up by gamers in the beginning. But it has lots of bells and whistles, and I answer questions for 3 hours twice a month on Sunday afternoons at 5 o'clock Eastern. So just so you know, I'm on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, all as Astrology Zone, because there's too many Susan Millers.
Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for calling in. And Benny, let's take the last caller. And at Susan, we're just going to be able to give her a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sure. We'll take Linda. Linda's calling in from Seattle now. Hi, Linda. Welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. My ascendant is Capricorn.
Right.
And I'm a Gemini.
Okay. That's a nice combo.
And I just came out of that Pluto transit and Saturn over my ascendant now. Is something good coming?
No, well, Saturn is in your house of honors, awards, achievement, fame. That's where it is. When I had your aspects, I started Astrology Zone. Was it hard? Yeah, in the beginning. There were no laws. There were no rules. People were stealing my content. It was like crazy in 1995. But I'm still standing. And what you start with Saturn in the 10th house, which is what you have, you get to keep. And as I told the other lady, you got rid of Saturn in the second house. I feel that that's a hard place to host Saturn. It's in the house of money. And it's out of that. It's gone. It's not coming back for 29 years. So you now have all the restrictions taken off and you can start making decent money. What's the problem with the career?
I'm retired, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what were you hoping in the question?
Well, I think I have Pisces. I have Pisces on my second house. So
if you have Aquarius rising, you do.
Yeah. Well, see, I've got.
You know what? You probably have Aquarius intercepted.
That's what I have.
All right.
Yeah.
So Saturn wants to teach you the value of $1.
Okay.
How to buy below wholesale. How to get a good deal. How to negotiate. And we all say, wait, I don't want to learn all this. I don't want to learn it. I know the value of $1. No, well, the universe, and we all have to go through the session, all of us. So, and you just had it with the Capricorn part of you. You're actually an expert at it now. And you clip coupons and they say, if you take care of the pennies, everything else falls into place.
That's great.
I'm helping my daughter in Hollywood because there's a writer's strike and she has a job and she's not a writer. She's a producer, but CBS doesn't want to cross the picket line. So she's working and can't get paid. So I'm finding ways to cut in my life so that I could help Diana and her little baby. So, because I'm so motivated, I love them so much. I'm willing to do whatever is necessary. And it is really true. You worry about the little things and the big things take care of themselves. And now there's apps. So on a day when you say, well, I could put an extra $10 in my little savings account. And whenever the spirit moves you, you just put it in. People are telling me they love these apps. They're on the Apple App Store and Google Play. And I think I should try one. I think they sound good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I'll let you go because it's the end of the show. So,
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
It's hard for me to say goodbye. I love all your listeners, Loretta.
Well, we still have, like 2.5 minutes or something. She was
good,
being,
good. Let's have
she's-
another one then.
yeah, she was being very respectful. And so I just want to, I guess I'll jump in there really quick. So do a 30-second for me, if you don't mind. And I was going to ask Benny if he wanted to, but that's great. So my birth date is April 14th. I'm an Aries with Sag rising.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're all fire and light. Oh,
Thank you.
that's so great. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow. No, last year should have been a good year for you. You should
It
have
was.
extended.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have Jupiter conjunct the sun the way the little Tauruses have now, and Gemini's getting it next May 2024, for a year, you get a whole year. The seeds that you plant during that emerald year come up in your garden the following year. So last year, whoever you saw, whatever proposals you made, whatever investment you put in your business or yourself, some people go back to school, some people take courses, whatever it is, it starts to, the seedlings take hold. And this is your year to make really good money. Also, because you have Jupiter in your other chart, the Sagittarius side of you, you're getting great guests. You're naturally curious person. You're getting a whole new crop of guests that can teach you things about a different part of life. And there's nothing Sagittarius likes better. You're naturally philosophical in the way the Greeks were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so inspired by the Greeks. I feel our senators should walk around and debate great theories. Wouldn't that be nice?
I love that. If they could,
in these beautiful temples with the beautiful pillars and in togas and sat there and discussed the meaning of life.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
We're kind of far away from that right now, but it'll come back.
Yeah. So thank you, Susan. Yeah.
Is the best to talk to about that.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Susan Miller, astrologyzone.com. Is that correct?
Yes.
And honestly, Susan is everywhere. People, please check her out. And from my heart to yours, so much love. Love
Thank
to
you so much.
Thank you for the great work you do. Yeah. Yeah. And to my callers, thank you. Thanks for supporting the show, for calling in. Benny, you are the best. Thank you so much.